Good morning, y'all. Happy Saturday. I hope your Saturday is going better than the irritation that I feel. Sometimes I feel like we don't want to be honest about like, "Ugh, I woke up not on the right side of the bed, the wrong side of the bed, the irritated side of the bed. Like you just be irritated with yourself. Like, oh, you didn't do this, you didn't do that, you should have did this, you should have did that. Should have drank more water before you went to sleep. Before you went to sleep last night. Maybe you wouldn't be bloated this morning. You should have more motivation to get your content created. Why you don't have as much motivation as other people who be cranking out content, irritated because you feel like your car should be cleaner than it is because I put a dent in it some months ago. And some days it don't bother me because I mean you can see it up close, but I still need to get it fixed. Then other days you just irritated with yourself. Just you get down on yourself and not even like in a depressed way, just like irritated, right? Child, like I said, I woke up on the irritated side of the bed. Like, oh, I need to do this, I need to do that. But if you had the choice, you might not do any of it, which then is like when I start feeling like this is when I would normally lean into procrastinating more, not getting stuff done. And then you get on yourself for not getting the stuff done, for being lazy or for being tired and not getting the stuff done. So it's just a vicious cycle. No, we're not doing that today. We are going to push through those feelings and get stuff done that needs to be done. Irritation and self doubt, none of that can win with us. But I just wanted to get that off my chest to y'all because I hope I'm not the only one that wake up like I'm irritated. And one of the things that irritated me was the video I'm about to do for y'all. It's about some of it is about Young Thug. I'm adding some other stuff in. But I did this video 2 nights ago, only for, wait, I did it Thursday night, only for it to still be stuck at 50% with Zoom, right? Normally I don't have a problem with the Zoom. It's like, oh, went upstairs, took a shower, came back, it wasn't done. I was like, all right, I'll post it first thing Friday morning. Came back, it still wasn't done. So I stopped it. And it says if you stop it while the video is trying to convert, you can go in your recorded meetings and then convert it. So I was like, all right, I'll just convert it and re-upload it, except for it's not there, it's gone. I said, I tried to talk about this 2 days ago. I feel like I'm late, 2 days behind, which added then again to my irritation. So I was like, I'm not just going to talk about it, that I'm just going to leave, go out and do some work. And normally I'm off on Saturdays, but I took off Wednesday to hang out with my parents and one of my brothers in DC. We had a really good time. We went to the Bible Institute. It was interesting. And we hung out all day. But anyway, I was like, I'm just going to go work today. Corey's going to New Jersey to visit his mom, my mother-in-law, and hang out with her because we haven't seen her. And he hasn't, we haven't seen her in a while and he hasn't got to see her in a while. So, but anyway, so I was like, I'm just going to go work. I'm not even going to do it. And I was like, no, you are letting your irritation win. Sit down, do your content, pray that my day goes by faster than what I think it may. And then you'll come back and do more content because I still got to do Salt Lake City. I want to recap Bell Collective. Did y'all watch last night? But anyway, all of these things. But yeah, Zoom was one of my irritations. And then it was playing with me this morning when I tried to log in. I was like, whoo, nope, won't win, won't win. Mm. Let me make sure I'm right within so I will win. Because didn't Lauren tell us how we're going to win if we ain't right within? Anyway, so I just hope if any of y'all are experiencing those feelings, don't give in to the feelings. Sometimes we got to go, still do what we got to do through the feeling. Whether you believe in God, Buddha, the sun, the moon, the stars, whoever you pray to, whatever throne or altar you pray to. Sometimes we feel like once we pray, that's it. God or whomever is going to remove the feeling and we're going to be successful or get the thing we want to get. Now, sometimes we got to actually pray and then do some work and work through those feelings. And I'm really fighting through feelings of irritation today. But so if y'all are too, y'all, we in this together. We're going to push through and get done what we need to get done piece by piece. That's it. So speaking of getting things done, Young Thug's lawyer got it done, and we know that he has walked free. Look at that transition. Look at God. Now, this is according to NBC News. Again, I know that y'all have probably, we've all seen it by now, but because Zoom messed me up. I'm coming to talk to y'all up 2 days ago. I'm coming to talk to y'all now. So Young Thug released after changing plea to guilty in Georgia's longest running criminal trial. The agreement, which includes probation and time served, ends the Atlanta rap star's part in a sprawling trial that began with jury selection in January 2023. Atlanta rap star Young Thug was released from jail Thursday night after changing his plea to guilty earlier that day in Georgia's longest running criminal trial. He averted prison time with probation, bringing a stunning close to a chapter of a case that has riveted court watchers for nearly 2 years. Now, I didn't really cover a lot of it on the channel or on my podcast, but I remember when it started, when they were doing jury selection and people were like, "Oh, he's going to jail. He's going to like." All this stuff, and then seeing the shenanigans that played out in the case from the judge that it seemed like was kind of doing some stuff off the book, and Young Thug's lawyer going toe to toe with him saying he was going to hold Young Thug's lawyer in contempt, and his lawyer was like, "Okay, I'll be in contempt. Just can I spend, if I have to do jail on the weekends, can I be in there with Young Thug, my client, so I can work on his case?" Like his lawyer, like, you talking about riding for somebody, his lawyer was lawyering. Okay. So I remember just again, from the beginning, when it all started, when it got like all of this, and now here we are, and he went home. The plea change by the rapper, whose real name is Jeffrey Lamar Williams, appeared on the brink of not happening after Superior Court Judge Paige Whitaker asked if he agreed to a non-negotiated plea. That means prosecutors and the defense could not come to a sentencing deal, and that the judge would ultimately decide his punishment. The parties returned after a brief recess, and Young Thug agreed to plead guilty to drug and GUN related charges and no contest to charges of conspiracy and participating in a street gang. Whitaker sentenced him to 40 years that would have forced him to serve 5 years in prison, but she commuted it to time served. In addition, he must complete 15 years of probation, which can result in 20 years to be served if in custody if probation is not successful. She put several restrictions on him, including barring travel into Metro Atlanta. I'm not from Atlanta. I love Atlanta. Have gone so many times. Love, love, love. But what is Metro Atlanta? Is that specific places that he can't go? And isn't he from there? And no contact with affiliated gang members, and said he must perform community service, including doing presentations to community groups and children against gang violence. Before she sentenced him, Young Thug told the court, "He takes full responsibility for my crimes and for my charges," and said he now recognizes the power he holds in South Atlanta neighborhood to set a better example. "I know what I bring to the table, and I know what I am. I know the heights I've reached, and I know the impact I've got on the people in the community." Young Thug, 33, has been jailed since his arrest in May 2022 on charges related to leading an alleged street gang, Young Slime Life, or YSL, with members accused of committing illegal and violent acts, including unaliving, armed robbery, drug dealing, and carjacking. Fulton County District Attorney Fannie, is it Fannie or Fannie? Willis used Georgia's Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations, or RICO, statute to claim Young Thug and his associates are a street gang with ties to the National Bloods gang. During Thursday's sentencing, Assistant District Attorney Adrian Love painted Young Thug as a central figure in the illegal acts, including allegations of murder, and cited rap lyrics promoting violence. Love asked the state to consider sentencing Young Thug to 45 years, with 25 years to be served in prison and 20 on probation. But Whitaker noted in her sentencing decision that prosecutors were earlier willing to let Young Thug get out on probation as part of a plea deal as long as he testified against his co-defendants. Young Thug's lawyer, Brian Steele, asked Whitaker to impose house arrest instead, and said the state misunderstood the context of the rapper's lyrics in claiming they showed he was encouraging gang activity. "They are in a tunnel vision to try and convict a man who should not be convicted," Steele said. Whitaker, during her sentencing, said she appreciated the impact Young Thug has had coming up from a community already plagued by violence. "But if you choose to continue to rap, you need to try to use your influence to let kids know that this is not the way to go. There are ways out of poverty besides hooking up with the powerful guy at the end of the street selling drugs. I want you to be more of the solution and less of the problem." Now, let's get into some of the people that were on trial with him and what they've got going on. So we know that he's 15 years probation. And if he messes up that probation, he has to go in and he'll have to serve 20 years. The prosecution's agreement with Young Thug came after 3 co-defendants took plea deals this week following mounting speculation that Whitaker could order a mistrial. Initially, prosecutors named 27 co-defendants. The trial against Young Thug began with jury selection in January 2023, and by the time opening statements started that November, after months of delays caused by some defendants taking plea deals and others choosing to be tried separately, he was one of 6 co-defendants. Judge Whitaker this week approved plea deals for 3 of them. Quamarvius Nichols, 29, Marquavius Huey, 28, and Rodalius Ryan, 18. The men faced multiple counts of various racketeering and gang-related charges, each potentially carrying prison sentences up to 5 to 20 years, with all of them agreeing to plead guilty to racketeering conspiracy. And with Huey also pleading guilty to other reduced charges, they accepted more lenient prison sentences with probation and time served. Ryan, however, which is the youngest, the one that's 18, will remain in prison on a life sentence for a 2019 murder. Oh, unaliving. Well, I didn't say it, y'all. But his 10-year prison sentence in the RICO case has been commuted to time served. The trial is expected to resume against the 2 remaining co-defendants, DeMonte Kendrick and Shannon Stillwell. Giving Young Thug's plea deal an end to his part in the prosecution's sprawling case comes nearly 2 years of a winding live stream trial. Child, see, Zoom is playing. I opened the Zoom for this, right? To do this with y'all meeting. Now you want to come up on my phone and it's time to do the meeting. You know I'm logged into the meeting already. Anyway, this irritation. Anyway, so the original judge was recused from the trial in July after misconduct allegations by the defense. I remember that. And heated courtroom exchanges between various parties and a multitude of bizarre moments, including a deputy allegedly smuggling contraband to a defendant and someone someone hacking the court Zoom to yell "Free Thug." Can you imagine, like, being an officer of the law, an officer of the courts, whatever? This case has been nothing but shenanigans for 2 years. Cases being live streamed every day via Zoom, and then it gets hacked for somebody to come in and yell "Free Thug." At this point, it's like, this is a joke. So at least taxpayers' money and yada, 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 and all that, will finally be brought to an end. A 2-year trial. I wonder, though, if he's going to be able to maintain the conditions of his plea. So you know how one of the things was he couldn't go into Metro Atlanta. So this is according to the Jasmine brand. His father, Young Thug's father, came out and said he's totally against, because when I initially read about the ban from ABC News or NBC News, it didn't say how long the ban was from Metro Atlanta. Then I went to the Jasmine brand where his father was speaking, and he was given a 10-year ban from Metro Atlanta. So his father says, I'm totally against this. His father said, I'm totally against that. To see her take a man away from where he's from, that's offensive to me. And to have a district attorney take that away from him that isn't a resident from here. This is what he said, that is, I guess he meant resident, that isn't a resident, that's not from here. She's from another state. And to see her take a man away from where he's from, to have to go live somewhere else, that's offensive to me. So it says the probation includes additional restrictions for Young Thug. He must abstain from firearms, maintain distance from his co-defendants, except Gunna and his brother, because they'll still be able to work together, submit to regular drug testing, and avoid gang-related content in his music. He may only return to Atlanta for community service initiatives focused on anti-gang and anti-violence education. Travel is limited strictly to business-related trips. These measures aim to support rehabilitation while distancing him from previous affiliations. And then the Jasmine brand ends the article with, however, some folks feel like he's walking away with a slap on the wrist. Do you agree? So do y'all agree? Do y'all think that he was guilty of what they accused him of? Maybe he was guilty of some of it. Do you think that he should have got a harsher sentence? And what do y'all think about him being banned from Metro Atlanta? And how do they determine what Metro Atlanta is? Like this city, but not this city. But then he can go back And I'm thinking, do they just mean Atlanta in general? Because again, in this Jasmine Brand article, it says he can only go back to Atlanta for community service initiatives. But then in the other article I read, it said Metro Atlanta. So is he banned from all of Atlanta for 10 years, but can go back for community service initiatives focused on anti-gang and anti-violence education and work? I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Speaking of court, Tory Lanez legal team reacts to Meg Thee Stallion sharing they had sex once, maybe twice. It's according to the Jasmine Brand. So, Meg has just released her documentary. In her documentary, she talked about how she never even thought that her sex life with him or anything like that was going to come up. She wasn't expecting Gayle King to ask her that. So, yes, she lied. She was embarrassed, she said. And some people think because she lied about that, that means she lied about getting shot. No, that does not mean that. Tory has lied about some things too that have been proven to be a lie and not necessarily connected to this case with other stuff. So, but people took that and ran with it. But in her documentary, she said, yes, they had sex like once or twice. So his legal team, because he's still working on getting out, has come out. So again, like I just told y'all, as reported in her newly released documentary, where she speaks on the aftermath of being shot by Tory, Megan touched on lying to journalist Gayle King about having sex with the proud family artist. The fact that, and so speaking on the confession, Caesar McDowell, an attorney who reps Tory, told TMZ, the fact that Megan lied about her sexual relationship with Tory obviously makes her an unreliable witness. If someone lies in front of millions of people, how can you trust what they say any other time? It's important to note that this isn't the first time Megan has opened up about the truth of the nature of the relationship she once had with Tory. During the shooting trial, which took place in December 2020, Megan confessed that she and Tory did have sex at some point during their friendship. Speaking of how her sex life being on display was also impacting her then boyfriend, Partisan Fontaine, she added, I feel disgusted. I feel dirty. My own partner is embarrassed. So didn't Tory get convicted or of beating up someone? Was it August Alsina? And he lied and said he wasn't there. He wasn't in attendance at whatever. I don't know if it was I'm going to say talk show or game show. The award show. I don't know if it was an award show or a party, but he said he wasn't there. But there's footage showing that he was there. He lied. So if it goes for Megan that since she lied, how can you trust what they say any other time? Then how can we trust what he's saying any other time? Like him saying he didn't shoot Megan. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, don't forget that your client has lied on some things too, but they're still working to try to get him out. And speaking of Tory Lanez' lawyers, so Meg is suing blogger Milagro Gramz. She is now being represented by Tory Lanez' appeal lawyers. So Tory's in jail appealing his conviction of shooting Meg. Meg is suing the blogger Milagro Gramz, which we'll get into, and Tory's lawyers are representing her. Let's get into it. Unite the People, the nonprofit law firm representing Tory Lanez as he appeals his guilty conviction for shooting Megan Thee Stallion, announced that they will be representing Milagro Gramz in her latest legal woes. We reported earlier this week that Megan Thee Stallion is suing Milagro Gramz for harassment, cyberstalking, and allegedly posting a pornographic deepfake of her. So remember that? Somebody had created an AI generated corn tape of Megan. Wasn't her. What AI, what they're doing with AI and what can be done with AI is a bit scary. Someone could literally place you somewhere where you weren't, have it looking like you were doing something you weren't, having it sounded like you said something that you didn't say. But anyway, so someone created, again, a corn tape, if you know what I mean, of Megan using AI. And she's saying that Milagro Gramz reposted it. I've heard other people say they saw that she reposted it, but I don't know. I didn't see it. She alleged that Milagro Gramz is being used as a puppet for Tory Lanez to spread lies about her online. Now, mind you, that she also went to Tory's hearings, and she was coming back reporting stuff that wasn't true. But there is a journalist named Megan Cuniff that was coming out telling us everything that happened that, was going on with the cases. But yeah, so Megan is suing for all of that. Unite the People said in a statement shared on Instagram Thursday that her lawsuit is an attempt to stop Milagro Gramz from reporting about the Tory Lanez case. They added that they are willing to represent any other bloggers or members of the media that has received this lawsuit against them in an effort to silence their freedom of speech. I think what gets me about that is if you are knowingly out here spreading false information, that could be damaging. I don't know if freedom of speech, first of all, was originally to protect people from speaking out against the government and not being able to basically get in trouble, right? Seems like it's taken on a whole new meaning in some places where people think freedom of speech is being able to say whatever you want. But it's not. You can't just lie on people. Taking even this out of it, to go out and just put out lies on people, it's one thing to provide commentary on something that's out there, right? We all talk in the comments or what have you, content creators. So we're providing commentary on things that we see, what's come out, and our feelings about what's presented to us, right? I know for me, I'm not going out here making up stuff to put out about someone for then to spin a narrative for other people to then provide commentary. And that's like a dangerous thing. So for me, freedom of speech doesn't protect you from knowingly putting out lies. To me, if I attend a court hearing, a high profile court case, and then I come out and present to you guys like, this is what happened, this is what happened, this is what happened, sprinkling a little bit of the truth, that's not okay. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how far this goes. Do y'all think that Cardi suing Tasha has now not given license, but has paved the way, if you will? That's probably the wrong term, but you know what I mean? Like, do y'all think more entertainers and artists and even other content creators will be suing people or coming after people? I guess we'll see. We'll keep up with this and see what's going on. I'm sure we'll be hearing about it. Court. P. Diddy, Sean Diddy Combs' ex tapes allegedly show him with 8 A-listers, including at least 2 child stars. This is according to Page Six. Courtney Burgess, a man claiming to be in possession of Sean Diddy Combs' alleged ex tapes, testified, y'all, before a grand jury. So he's claiming to be in possession of some of Diddy's ex tapes, and he testified on Thursday. Burgess subsequently appeared on News Nation's Banfield, telling viewers that the rapper's ex, Kim Porter, gave him 11 flash drives prior to her 2018 death. The videos allegedly featured 8 celebrities, 6 men and 2 women, with Burgess claiming that 2 to 3 of the individuals were minors, y'all. He claimed that all of the stars allegedly depicted appeared to be under the influence in the footage and were seemingly victims and not perpetrators. When Burgess appeared outside the federal courthouse in Manhattan earlier that same day, he said he had been contacted by agents from the Department of Homeland Security and subpoenaed. The summons requested that Burgess turn over all records, including thumb drives, hard drives, electronic storage devices, and devices containing videos and or other files depicting Diddy, TMZ reported. Burgess also claimed to have Porter's alleged memoir, Kim's Lost Words, A Journey for Justice from the Other Side, in his possession. The fake book notably was pulled from Amazon last month after it was denounced by Combs' 7 children. So remember that? An artist came out, not an artist, somebody came out with a book that was alleging these were from Kim's files, but it has been deemed as fake, and Amazon did in fact pull it. Combs' legal team has yet to return Page Six's request for comment. Burgess's lawyer, Ariel Mitchell Kidd, spoke to the Post about the alleged X tapes in October, claiming that one of the male celebs was more high profile than Mr. Combs. Now, I don't know if y'all remember, but I remember when this came out, and it was kind of like, why is this lawyer coming out speaking about her client being in possession of a sex tape with a high profile celebrity higher than Diddy? Is she trying to put this out there in hopes that the highest bidder will come calling? Like, what's the goal in this lawyer putting this out? Because she claimed, I can verify that it exists, that it's real, and that the other person in the video is very visible. There's no question of if it's that person in the video. At the time, Combs' legal team called Mitchell Kidd's comments a cry for publicity and attention. The star in question was horrified by the threat of the video getting out, with a source revealing he feels like he was victimized years ago and is now being victimized again. Whoever this star is in this video, they're saying knows that they're the one that they're talking about. If he testified in front of the grand jury on Thursday, does that mean that somebody got to see the video? Somebody like court affiliate or whatever got to see the video and all of that? Like, what does that mean? I mean, if they're having him testify in front of a grand jury, and if he claims to have one of the videos in his possession, wouldn't that have to be used as evidence? I don't know. I have a feeling in the next year, or maybe not even year, but because Diddy's case is in May, minds are going to be blown, and they're not blown, because some people believe that because people are celebrities that they become superhuman, meaning they can do no wrong, especially when it comes to male celebrities and people worshiping, men and all of that. It's like, no, they couldn't possibly do that, blah, 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 because we see the character that they present to us. So when I said we'll be in shock, some of us probably not, like, oh, okay, I can see it. But either way, we probably going to be like, what? I don't know. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Sometimes there's a part of me that wonders if there's going to be a way that Diddy's going to get bail, because they talk about how powerful he is. And clearly, in order to get away with a lot of the things he did, it was paying off probably. And I'm guessing, I'm alleging none of this is fact, but he had to have people in high positions in his pockets, right? And maybe he has some of them caught in compromising positions. And I'm wondering if there's a world in which he gets, for his third attempt for bail will be granted and he get out. And if we're going to see people even higher than him, if you will, in quotes, like if he's going to give up some information. Like, yeah, they have videotapes. Yeah, they have this, but is there even more? You know what I mean? Like, how deep is this? Sometimes I wonder that. So y'all let me know what y'all think about that. Y'all let me know what y'all think about Tory Lanez and him still working on trying to be free. And now his lawyers are representing the blogger that Meg is suing. And what do y'all think about the whole freedom of speech thing? I truly feel like some people think that freedom of speech is a license to just say whatever it is you want to say. I mean, down to YouTube, Cardi and Tasha, clear case of where freedom of speech does not mean that you have license to just say whatever you want to say. And let me know what y'all think about Young Thug getting out. Do y'all think he'll be able to stick to the probation? Do y'all think it is fair that he get out but not be able to go to Atlanta if that's where he lived, but yet he can go for work purposes and community service purposes? Y'all let me know what y'all think. And y'all, on this Saturday, I'm hoping to I've got to do Salt Lake City, but on this Saturday, please don't let irritation, frustration, lack of motivation, don't let any of that win when it comes to whatever it is you have to do, whether it's from housework to paperwork information that you got to get straightened out and you just don't feel like making the call and you get anxiety thinking about it, to putting a business plan together, to getting money, to doing this. Don't let frustration, anxiety, irritation, the thought of failure, don't let it win. Even if you have those feelings on you, work through them. We just got to keep moving through them. All right, y'all. I love y'all so much. Thank y'all for listening to my vent at the beginning of this YouTube. I feel better talking to y'all already. I love y'all so much. Have a good Saturday.